Hi, I'm Scott Torres.
And I'm Ron Mukai.
We're both black belts and the founders of East LA Jiu-Jitsu.
Thank you for joining us as we talk about East LA and how we're going to use Jiu-Jitsu to transform our community.
My name is Ana Araujo. I'm the executive director of East LA Rising, formerly the East Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club. I've been the director at my youth organization for almost 20 years. And when I was in my former life in the corporate world, I was very involved in the East LA community. Our youth are in a critical state right now. 7 out of 10 of our youth have tried a drug or have tried alcohol. And not for fun, mostly for numbing. We have a lot of youth that can't even get their homework done because they're expected to take care of their younger siblings. Whether you have 2 parents or 1 parent or not, if your parent's not around, you are a latchkey kid pretty much taking care of yourself. So these kids are pretty much on their own, making adult decisions with the brain of a child. We need to be able to give them safety on so many levels. And that's really the goal of what we do here. It's to give the youth an opportunity to have experiences that they normally wouldn't. I have come to rely on our business community. That's what our youth really need exposure to, are caring adults that can show them everybody had a different path, everybody got there in a different way. You know, at the end of the day, what we want our youth to have are options. At the end of the day, I want them to get to being a high school senior without having to say, what if?
He wasn't doing that well in school. He wasn't confident in a lot of ways. He didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to be home. I remember that one day he told me, Mom, I need to learn some self-defense because they're bullying me, and it was pretty challenging. And I said, okay, I have to do something about it. And I have a friend, and I told him that I was having trouble with my boys, and they just seemed, a little out of control, and I was scared of them being out there and always getting in trouble and kids just trying to bully them and stuff. And I said, oh, so what do you think about kickboxing? And he said, no, if you really want them to grow better and learn discipline, try Jiujitsu.
I was just getting bullied, and I didn't really enjoy it. I got in a couple fights when I was younger. I actually didn't know a thing about Jiu-Jitsu, and we had happened to see the video on the reasons why your child should do Jiu-Jitsu. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'd actually love to do it. It just kept me busy most of the day. I was busy, so I didn't have much on my mind. It kind of made me more confident. After a while, I stopped getting punked because I wasn't afraid to speak up for myself.
Es algo muy bueno para los niños porque les ayuda a que se sientan más confianza y que se enfoquen en otras cosas que son más importantes que solamente estar pensando, oh, vamos a estar aquí ocasionando problemas. Eso de querer tener control todo el tiempo en cosas que ni siquiera son importantes, y es muy buena disciplina para ellos. Y él ahora ya lo hace, ahora ya no me preocupa tanto de que él está aquí o allá, o sale, se va a hacer, se enfoca en nomás, ok, yo voy a estar aquí con mis amigos, me voy a divertir, y no anda buscando problemas, y le habla a sus amigos y les dice, no vayan a andar. Él dice no, pues, cuando quieren hacer cosas que no deben de hacer porque quieren andar traviesos por su edad. Para mí es lo mejor porque les enseña no solamente algo físico, sino también algo mental. Les ayuda mucho.
When you don't have something to look forward to, a future, those are the kids we lose to the streets. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'll go with you. You're hopping into a stolen car. We've got so many kids by the time they graduate high school that they've got to have a beer. That's their life on Friday nights and weekends, and then it becomes Monday through Friday. And so we've got to catch them earlier than that. We've got to make sure that this looks better. You catch the challenges before they become insurmountable. You can intervene immediately. That's the real key about any program that's going to be trusted by the youth, and it's going to become a family very quickly to them, because that's going to be their survival. That's gonna be that support that'll get them to get out of here and ideally come back and contribute. I mean, that's the whole goal, is for them to come back and give it to the next person. It's a lot about goal setting. It's about having a path. It's really about delayed gratification. You know, you have to be able to willing to invest, and the returns will be tenfold. And that's really the message that we need to get through. And so with groups like yours, it's like you guys have such a strong foundation of respect and of character building. I mean, you almost have to have certain values to even participate. And if you don't have them, or you've never even heard of them or have ever lived them, you're gonna learn them pretty quick.
The male influence and the authority of a male, I believe, young men need. And since me not having that, I think, you know, growing up, a lot of people don't have too much confidence, especially people with single moms. Especially a lot of young kids in the Los Angeles area feel like they have something to prove. When you get into jiu-jitsu and you compete and you start rolling around and you learn good skills, you feel like you don't need to prove anything to anybody but yourself. So it definitely keeps you out of a lot more trouble, because it's a good hobby to get into. It taught me a lot of patience. You know, it's you just got to keep working at it and keep persevering, and then humility for sure. Growing up in high school, working out, you kind of feel like a big guy in high school when you're lifting weights and kind of get the ego a little bit. But when you get beat down by someone who's about 120 pounds, you know, just demolished on the mat, it's very humbling, because you realize you're not the biggest, you're not the baddest, not even the strongest. All that don't mean nothing. You gotta be careful who you want to fight. I used to look at people and think I could probably take him in a fight. I could take that guy. Now I look at them like, he's probably a black belt. Who knows what he knows? It's just how dangerous he can be. You never know who knows what. So definitely humble, definitely got my ego in check. It's gonna teach you a lot of life lessons that's gonna make you better as a person, as a man, as a boss, as a friend, you know, as a soldier, as a Marine, sailor, whatever it may be.
The biggest benefits that Jiu-Jitsu will bring to the youth in our community, first and foremost, is honestly basic manners. It's life skills. Being able to defend yourself, being able to take care of yourself, knowing that you can. That's gonna be priceless. They're gonna end up going back home and teaching the family. So that child could have a lot of influence in the other direction.
For some reason, jiu-jitsu and rolling and battling with people brings down walls. And you're just creating more friends. And it's really a good place to feel like there's family and unity and community.
In jiu-jitsu, I learned you never lose, you always learn. So she would never come home after a tournament or after a bad roll defeated. She would come home and say, I need a plan now. I don't know any other sport where you don't feel defeated like that. If anything, you get encouraged to try harder. And I love that about jiu-jitsu.
I think it's helped me just deal with like different pressures that I've had, whether it's like with school or it's actually like in different sports. I'm not afraid to do different things because I know how to handle it now. And so it's helped me just to like learn with everything else too. Like if, I don't know, I don't get a good grade or something, I just know to try harder because I can get better.
Typical class day is a warm-up, a technique session, followed by a sparring session. So you get to apply everything you've learned every single class time. There's no time to go home and think about it and ponder if it really works or not, because you're gonna find out real quick at the end of class if it works or if it doesn't. And that can really benefit a lot of kids, because it can really boost their confidence if they kind of struggle with these things during class and they find that it does work on somebody their own size that's not necessarily letting them do that to them. Also, it can benefit kids by losing. Losing really helps kids and adults alike, because it really teaches you a lesson on where they need to get better and where they need to fix it. So Jiu-Jitsu teaches kids to creatively employ new ideas, and kids in the East LA community could really benefit from Jiu-Jitsu to become part of a community, become part of a team of like-minded individuals, and have good leadership in front of them, showing them you can apply what you learn on the mat every single day and every single year of your life.
To know that there's a group of people that don't personally know them, but care for their well-being and want what's best for them and are really coming from the heart to offer it. And that's really the message that we need to get through, And so with groups like yours, it's like, wow, they're willing to be in East LA? Here? These people don't even know me, but they care. They may not vocalize it, they may not say it, but they're watching and they notice. We want our youth to be able to stand on their own, be self-sufficient, and just be full of life and have something to look forward to. And I believe in a program such as Jiu-Jitsu, all the different life skills you need to survive and to succeed are already built in just from the beauty of the sport.
On behalf of myself, my wife Wendy, and my partner Scott Torres, I want to thank you for being a part of the genesis of East LA Jiu-Jitsu, a faith-based, nonprofit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school in unincorporated East LA. I truly believe that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best vehicle for instilling character and strong critical thinking skills in our youth today. And I think we can truly build something in East LA that will be a legacy, not only for those of us that are on the ground floor here, but for many generations to come.